Jumbo, the 47th country, Kenya. I went to Kenya from Ethiopia overland. So I arrived at border town Moyale. It's quite late, and the exchange office already closed, and I have limited cash. And I tried to find some budget accommodation. Either they are full or the cheapest one is taken. And also I tried to get a bus ticket to Nairobi, but I don't have enough cash, so I was in difficult. And then after that I was crying on the street, and then one local Muslim found me and offered me help proactively. He first found me a budget accommodation, and after that he took me to the shop to exchange money, and after that he bring me to the ticket office to purchase a ticket to Nairobi next day. And he told me, next time if I need help, just feel free to ask people, because people will be willing to help me. So I just thanked him, and then after that I went out to grab some food. It's finally I can eat some rice after 2 countries without eating rice, from Sudan and Ethiopia. And then the accommodation is so rough. They call it hotel, anyway, but for me it seems like prison, because there's only one mini window, and there's just only a bed, no tap water, because they only offer you a yellow jug, and then you got 1 jug of water for cleaning your face, brush your teeth, and so on. And the toilet is a pitch one. There's no electricity during the night. So I still remember that when I was on my way to the toilet, I just accidentally dirtied my hands, so I used the full jug of my water for cleaning my hands. Yeah, what a night. The next day I made my way to Nairobi. So before I boarded on the bus, one local person asked me if I needed to wipe my backpack with the plastic bag. I said no, because I don't see there's any necessary for doing that. And then the road condition was so bad. It's just back to 20 years ago in some countryside road in China. Everyone was seriously shaking on the bus, and then the passenger with kids must secure their kids, otherwise their kids should be shaken out of the bus. And the ladies sit on the back, they were screaming, and then even we closed the window, and then you can still feel your eyes, your ears, your mouth was full of dust. That was crazy. And it's so cold from Moyale to Nairobi, the death road, for some part of the road condition, but it's getting better. And when we arrived in Nairobi, it's quite late, so I don't want to risk myself for searching for accommodation for a long distance. So I just found some guest house near the bus station. And after I checked in, because I'm full of dust and also my backpack, so now I realized why in the beginning the people asked me if I need to wrap my luggage with plastic bag. And then so I have to clean myself, and then there's some problem with the shower. I informed the guest house, they fix it for me. Even it's bucket shower, but luckily there's hot water. And also I went out to the local restaurant. They offer in the food pilau. It's kind of a big plate of rice. I've never ate rice in such a huge plate and in such a reasonable price. So I was so happy. I was laughing, and then people were in the restaurant. They were looking at me because I was so happy. I was laughing, and then when I see people have the same big plate, and then I laughed more, and then people just feel so weird. I was saying, I will never see this big plate of rice in my life, blah blah blah. After that, the next day I moved to the hostel in Nairobi. I met some fellow traveler, like one Japanese traveler. He asked me if I'm taking any anti-malarial tablet, and then I said I'm not, and then he just suggested me to take some, because he told me a story like one Japanese couple, they traveled in Africa overland, and after South Africa they went to Brazil, but unfortunately they got malaria, then they passed away. So I just followed what he said. I went to the local pharmacy, purchased some anti-malaria tablet, and I just follow the instruction to take as the instruction. And after spent some days in Nairobi, I made my way to Narok, and then from Narok I went to Talek village in order to do the safari in Maasai National Park. But I need to find the driver and negotiated the price by myself, because I'm doing all the stuff not to waste the tour. So I still remember to negotiate with the driver. It's like an interview, I just talked with different drivers. And eventually I found myself a good one, and I did the safari. That was my very first time, and it was really impressed. And I get to see the lion, different animals, and after that I needed to leave the village, and the Matuta to leave the village. It's very early, like the midnight. So, and the driver came to where I stayed to pick me up, and then continue to pick up some other passengers, And after that, we hit to Narok, and when we arrived in Narok, it's like in the afternoon. And still, I need to make my way toward the border between Kenya and Uganda. And then I've changed like so many times of matatu on the way, because it's very normal. The matatu is always so crowded. People were hanging, people were just sitting, not even on the seat, and everywhere you can find people. I mean, even on the back side of the car, you can find people. Yeah, that's really crazy. And then when I arrived at border town, it's too late. The border already closed, and the driver feel not safe to leave me alone in the bus station. So after all the passengers get off, and the driver just took me to a local guest house, and then to allow me to check in. So after I checked in, I asked the reception if they know if they have any hot water to allow me to maybe make an instant noodles, but the reason is no. So I just had one meal on that day, and then so there's no other food I can get, so I just took a cold bucket shower and then go to bed immediately. So, and then the second day I continue my way to the Uganda side. So I asked the people where is the border, and then they showed me. So I just crossed the border. And in my perception, because Nairobi it's not as a safe in a good reputation. And actually before I come to Africa, I was always had a different dreams. Sometimes I was dreaming, okay, maybe I got robbed, and then what I should react, maybe give all my valuable things to the robber. Another day I was dreaming, okay, I got robbed, and maybe I would try to fight with them. This happened before I entered the Black Africa. And then in the beginning I was thinking maybe I will not travel to Africa for the very late time, because but after I read a Chinese girl's blog, and she traveled in Africa overland by herself, and I was inspired by her. If she can do it, I can do it. So, and then it was my very first time to doing like a travel research for traveling Africa. Before I never